Hello, welcome back to the class. As mentioned earlier, in this class we'll be learning about more complex repetitions. So starting off with multiple initializations in the for loop, the initializations expression for the for loop can contain more than one statement separated by a comma. For example, for in bracket I is equal to 1, comma j is equal to 1, semicolon j less than equal to 10, semicolon j plus plus and bracket closed. Multiple statements can also be used in the incrementation expression of for loop. That is, you can increment or decrement two or more variables at the same time. However, only one expression is allowed in the test expression. This expression may contain several conditions linked together using logical operators. Use of multiple statements in the initialization expression also demonstrate why semicolons are used to separate the three expressions in the for loop. If commas had been used, they could not also have been used to separate multiple statements in the initialization expression without confusing the compiler. Next, coming to the OR loops. The loops that we have used so far executed the statements within them a finite number of times. However, in real-life programming, one comes across a situation when it is not known beforehand how many times the statements in the loop are to be executed. This situation can be programmed like shown here. And here are some sample outputs that we get from this program. In this program, the do-while loop would get executed till the other user continues to answer y. The moment he answers n, the loop terminates, since the condition another is equal to y fails. Note that this loop ensures that statements within it are executed at least once, even if n is supplied for the first time itself. Though it is simpler to program such a requirement using a do-while loop, the same functionality, if required, can also be accomplished using for and while loop, like shown in this one. Using for loop, this is the particular code, and using while loop, it can be written this way. Next, going to the break statement. We often come across situations where we want to jump out of a loop instantly without waiting to get back to the conditional state. The keyword break allows us to do this. When break is encountered inside any loop, control automatically passes to the first statement after the loop. A break is usually associated with an if. As an example, let's consider the following example. Write a program to determine whether a number is prime or not. A prime number is 1 which is divisible only by 1. All we have to do to test whether a number is prime or not is to divide it successfully by all the numbers from 2 to 1 less than itself. If remainder of any of these divisions is 0, then the number is not prime. If no division yields to a 0, then the number is a prime number. The following example implements this logic. In this program, the moment num%i turns out to be 0, that is, num is exactly divisible by I. The message not a prime number is printed and the control breaks out of the while loop. Why does the program require this if statement after the while loop at all? Well, there are two ways the control could have reached outside the while loop. It jumped out because the number proved to be not a prime. The loop came out to an end because the value of I became equal to num. When the loop terminates in the second case, it means that there was no number between 2 and num minus 1 that could exactly divide num. That is, num is indeed a prime. If this is true, the program should print out the message prime number. The keyword break breaks the control only from the while in which it is placed. Consider this next program which illustrates the fact. In this program, when j equals 150, break takes the control outside the inner while only, since it is placed inside the inner while. Next, going to the continue statement. In some programming situations, we want to take the control to the beginning of the loop by passing the statements inside the loop, which have not yet been executed. The keyword continue allows us to do this. When continue is encountered inside any loop, control automatically passes to the beginning of the loop. A continue is usually associated with an if. Let's consider this example. The output of the above program would be 1, 2 and 2, 1. Note that when the value of I equals that of j, the continue statement takes the control to the for loop by passing rest of the statements pending execution in the for loop. Next, going to the do while loop. The general form of do while loop is do in brackets this and so on while the condition is true. So if the condition is not true, it won't execute any of this. There is a minor difference between the working of while and do while loops. This difference is the place where the condition is tested. The while tests the condition before executing any of the statements within the loop. As against this, the do while tests the condition after executed the statements within the loop. This particular flowchart would clarify the execution of do while loops still further. This means that do while would execute its statement at least once, even if the condition fails for the first time. The while, on the other hand, will not execute the statements if the condition fails for the first time. This difference is brought about more clearly by the following next program. So as you see in the first program, since the condition fails the first time itself, the printf will not be executed at all. Let's now write the same program using a do while loop, which as you see here. In this program, the printf would be executed once, since the body of the loop is executed and then the condition is tested. There are some occasions when we want to execute a loop at least once no matter what. Break and continue are used with do while just as they would be used in a while or a for loop. A break takes you out of the do while by passing the condition test. A condition sends you straight to the test at the end of the loop. So with this, we come to the end of this class. Let's summarize what we have done in the class till now. The three types of loops available in C are for, while, and do while. The break statement takes the execution control out of the loop. A continue statement skips the execution of the statements after it and takes the control to the beginning of the loop. A do-while loop is used to ensure that the statements within the loop are executed at least once. The double plus operator increments the operand by 1, whereas the double minus operator decrements it by 1. The operator plus is equal to, minus is equal to, into is equal to, divide is equal to, percentage is equal to are compound assignment operators. They modify the value of the operand to the left of them. So after this, I will give you a few exercise questions. You can try it out and get more clarity about this topic. So these are the exercise questions. Try to get the output of this particular program and try to write a program for this particular question. Thank you.